Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you, and I talk about professional boxing, which isn't all that often. Mainly, it's just when Mayweather and Pacquiao fights. It's the ongoing rumor of when these guys are finally going to get in there and do it. Now, about a month ago, there was a contract that was put together for a Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight that was actually agreed upon, that at this time has been signed by Manny Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather has not yet to commit to this fight, but tonight at the Miami Heat game in Miami, these two actually met. It was just an impromptu meeting where both guys ended up being at the game tonight, sitting courtside, and they actually walked up to each other and had a confrontation where both of them exchanged numbers, exchanged pleasantries. There was no fist thrown, there was no spitting, no biting, no grabbing, nothing. Just looked like two friends meeting up for the first time in a long time. This is a fight that we've been waiting, honestly, about 10 years for, easily close to that much. And here these two guys are, actually. It looks like, Mayweather and Pacquiao exchanged phone numbers in this meeting, and maybe they're actually, trying to get on the same page about what they can do. We've heard, each guy throw out, drug testing rumors about, one guy blaming the other guy, one guy blaming the other guy. He won't fight me, this, that, or the other. This fight needs to happen. It might be the last real big professional boxing fight that we're going to have for a long time. Easily, all the shenanigans of the late 90s and the early 2000s, and then the big boom in MMA has killed off the love of boxing. If it wasn't for Mayweather and Pacquiao, we wouldn't really have big fights anymore. I was in an understanding a few months ago in Los Angeles. No, it was in Las Vegas, I apologize. The same night as the WWE house show, they had a big boxing fight there that was on pay-per-view. I didn't know either guy. I didn't know about the fight until the fight was already over. So more than likely, this fight didn't really draw that big of a buy rate on pay-per-view if it really wasn't even being talked about by the mainstream media. Mayweather versus Pacquiao has been said to maybe bring on about $100 pay-per-view purchase price. This is definitely a fight that people are going to want to see. One of the biggest purses of all time for these guys to really get in there. If they really got in there, I think I would pick Pacquiao to win the fight. But although Mayweather looks like he would be able to avoid Pacquiao throughout it, with Mayweather's sort of chicken shit fighting style, where it's basically run around the ring as fast as possible, not to get hit, and use your speed to wear down the other guy, to where basically around the 8th and 9th round you can actually start your fight and start pounding on the guy and seeing if you can knock the guy out, because he's just been working so hard trying to actually catch up to you. We'd have to see what really goes down. There's definitely huge Mayweather fans. There's definitely huge Pacquiao fans that really get behind these guys and really get down to it. Right now, I think that honestly, we are the closest to actually seeing if this fight is going to happen. And I think there's a lot of people rooting for it to happen. But tonight's, encounter at the Miami Heat game probably is the closest we've ever been. So everybody, have your fingers crossed. And maybe we can get this fight done this year and actually see who the best pound-for-pound fighter there is in the world today. Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. I knew that I started talking about this fight it was probably about a month ago with the meeting on accident at the Miami Heat game, where basically the Miami Heat called these guys out. At one point, I think they put them up on the kiss cam, and they had all the reporters ganged up around them as Pacquiao and Mayweather actually had a confrontation. Not like throwing fisticuffs and yelling names, but just probably just trying to get the name on the contract, just trying to get this all figured out. This has been a fight that's been, on the table since 2009, 2010, trying to find a way to make this happen. Both guys pointed the other guy as the reason why this fight isn't going to be going down. But finally, here it is, May 2nd, 2015, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. These guys are going to get in there, and they are going to fight. This has been a fight that we've been looking for a long time. Pacquiao going up against Mayweather is probably, Kobe versus LeBron one-on-one at the NBA All-Star game, or, Jordan versus Bird, or, just any kind of, rivalry in their sport that you can think of where guys can just go at it, one-on-one. People say that boxing is a dying sport, but Mayweather and Pacquiao, whether if it's one fight or two fights a year, they go out there and they're the guys who really step up to the plate and they deliver with, big, huge buy rates. I really can't think of a fight that was put in the big main spotlight by boxing that wasn't highlighted by one of these two guys. And this has been a fight that both guys have really been looking for. Mayweather is going to come into this fight 47-0. Pacquiao is going to come into this fight 57-2. Honestly, by looking at these two guys, I knew by looking at at Mayweather during the last fight, he was starting to show his age, but I still thought that, he was younger by far from Pacquiao, and I was surprised to know that Pacquiao is actually a year younger. He just looks a lot older. Pacquiao has really been the, I guess you could say the protagonist in this, trying to really push it to the limit. You can remember the Foot Locker sale commercials from last year where Pacquiao was celebrating in the ring, yelling that he was going to fight me, he's going to fight me. He's never been one to say that, he didn't want this fight to happen. He knew that probably this is going to be one of the biggest fights of his career, and it's going to be a big one. I'm really, really looking forward to this. These two guys have been the highlights of boxing. And May 2nd, 2015 is going to be the day this finally goes down. They're saying that they've already signed into the contract. There's a $300 million rematch clause that's going to be in there, basically already setting up the second fight. And if they split the second fight, hell, why not go out there and make it 3? I mean, at this point and at their age, being able to knock out 3 fights in 2 years, making the biggest money in their lifetime, both of these guys can ride off into the sunset and be able to say, they had one hell of a boxing career and they made a ton of money doing it. I'm really fired up for this. I'm writing May 2nd, 2015 on the calendar tomorrow to make sure I get that day off from work. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you, talking all about the big fight coming up a month from today. This is the start of the big countdown to get us to Floyd Mayweather going up against Manny Pacquiao. This fight is going to be May 2nd, 2015. The big news that is going around that I think we've all known since before this fight was even signed, sealed, and delivered. Everybody can remember Floyd Mayweather running into Manny Pacquiao at the Miami Heat game. That's what started getting these guys talking. That's what got basically the world all looking into seeing what this fight was really going to be. Was this really going to happen? Of course, then Floyd Mayweather would take it to Facebook, posting a picture of him and Manny Pacquiao actually sitting down in an office trying to work out the terms of how this was going to happen. I think a lot like everybody else in the world, a lot of people were thinking that this fight would somehow, start moving in a direction, and then at the last second, the guys would start bitching about, drug testing and this, that, and the other, and it would fall apart. But this fight really is going to happen. We see HBO, we see Showtime. They're really, trying to push, and they're trying to find what this fight is going to cost. And I think the terms have really come out saying that this fight is going to cost us $100. Basically, if you want to order this show on a high definition stream, $100. It's going to be $90 for standard definition. This is going to shatter pay-per-view prices, through the roof. The record before this was going for $74.95 for high definition, $65 for standard. We all know that this is a big money fight. Basically, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, they're going to be taking a huge share of the purse. Floyd Mayweather taking in over $180 million, no matter if it's win or lose. Everybody knows about the big money already built into the contract, looking to see for a big rematch. But man, $100 to fight for this. I think a lot of people know, WWE with the WWE Network, getting the pay-per-views there for $10. They basically killed off the pay-per-views. I don't know, because basically when it comes to the prices that wrestling used to put on pay-per-views, they used to have to keep up the UFC, they used to have to keep up the boxing. I don't think there's anything in the world that I would want to pay $100 for to see this fight. I know that we've been waiting for this fight for a borderline 5 to 10 years. Pacquiao and Mayweather both being, two of the best fighters, two of the last well-known boxers there are in the world. But these guys are going to run, and Mayweather has never been a guy to give the consumer what they want. He's going to run around, he's going to make the guy get tired, and then he's going to work on him in the later rounds. You don't see two guys walk into the center of the ring and just throw punches. Manny is a guy that hopefully will know Floyd's game. I don't want the two guys just to stand in there, but people are going to pay this price because they want to see Mayweather get knocked out. People want to see somebody deliver that loss to Mayweather. Pacquiao's gone in there. He doesn't have the perfect record. We've seen Manny lose fights in his last few fights out there, so it is possible. But I think people really want to get behind Pacquiao. They want to see somebody be able to beat Mayweather and knock this guy out. But it's going to be there a month from today. $100 is going to be less in my pocket because I'm going to be ordering this. I want to see Mayweather get knocked out. I will admit that honestly, I was a little bit shocked today when I saw the story come across the screen that there was not a contract signed yet for the Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather fight coming up in less than 2 weeks on the 2nd of May. This is probably going to be one of the biggest days for boxing. I know that there's a lot of things going on with NBC, Sugar Ray Leonard. I think that even Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone is somehow involved with the money backing of the fights. I know there's a lot of things being said that the company is spending a lot of money to be on NBC, and there's not really a date of when the money is going to be coming back in, so the company might not be around that long, but at least boxing is in the main scene right now. But honestly, for all of the years that Floyd Mayweather ducked Manny Pacquiao, trying to get him away from this fight and making sure this fight never happened, when I first saw the story, I honestly thought that Manny not Manny, but Floyd was playing some games, and that maybe Floyd was going to pull out, not signing the contract, and the fight was never going to happen. I saw that there was some small news coming out of the Pacquiao versus Mayweather fight over the last week. Basically, Kenny Bayless has been named as the referee. He's one of the most, I guess you could say, respected referees in all of boxing. He's been the referee for a lot of Floyd Mayweather fights, but that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather have not gotten along on the same page for a long time. Both of these guys have their own style of fighting. Manny's the guy who's going to come right at you, right? Floyd is the guy who's going to run away. Floyd is a guy with his own production team that's behind him in all of his fights. He's going to be making a lot of money off of this fight. He's the kind of guy who's to try to make sure that the referee is in his pocket, the judges are in his pocket. A lot of Floyd's fights go to the decision, and he's going to need a referee to be with his side. It's almost like he is a member of WWE, and he has the authority. Triple H, Kane, Big Show, all standing by his side. Anything that went along with this fight, both guys were going to have to stand up and be able to sign off on. Maybe Manny Pacquiao is believing that he's going to be able to catch up to Floyd somewhere along the fight and be able to knock him out, and it's not going to have to go to a decision to see who's going to win this one. But I think, honestly, everybody's going to be thinking that right now Mayweather is not working on his punching as much as he's working on just running around and being able to stay alive throughout this fight. They had a unveiling of the championship belt that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather are going to be fighting for. The belt itself cost almost $1 million. It is a belt encrusted with rubies to show off the WBC championship. This fight coming right up around the corner. Hopefully that deal gets signed. Basically, the reason why it is not been signed is that the company Top Rank has not been approved of what they said they were going to be getting when the negotiations were coming down, when the paperwork was delivered. Basically, some of the terms that they had thought they had come to terms with weren't signed off on, and basically they're not getting the rights to pick the music that goes along with the fight, the highlights that go along with it, the commentators, so on and so forth. So it's not Mayweather, it's not Pacquiao. Basically, the title was just poorly written. There is no contract that is fully signed for this fight, but I'm sure that it will be worked out by the time it comes down to it. This fight is going to make so much money, whether if it's pay-per-view or internet buys or however people are going to be watching it. This is going to be a fight that hopefully people are going to be talking about for a long, long time. This is one that you're going to be telling your kids about. This is going to be one that movies are probably made about, and we'll be watching them later on down the road. In very, very weird news, I know that I made a video just about this just the other day, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, talking about all the high expectations of this fight. The people who think that this is going to be one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time, with people buying to the excess of 2.5 to 3 million buys for this fight. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao is a fight that people have been looking for now close to 10 years. And there is a very, very weird feel about this fight. And by this fight, I mean if the fight is even going to happen. Here we are. Today is April 23rd. We are a week and 3 days away from the fight. And honestly, I don't really feel any buzz about it. I saw that they put up a picture of the new championship belt that they created for the winner of this fight. All I've heard about this fight is how much money Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao is going to make. I don't really hear a whole lot about people clamoring that they can't wait until May 2nd in order to see this fight. Yesterday I was talking about in my video that there isn't even a signed contract. Yes, these guys have done publicity. Yes, these guys have done a live workout. They've done a press conference. They've done everything in the world except put the pen on the paper and signed the deal. And yesterday I find out that they haven't even sold tickets for this fight at the MGM Grand yet. The word is that there's going to be very few limited tickets sold to the public. These tickets will be in the higher nosebleed seats, nowhere close to the ring, but you know that there's diehard boxing fans that are just going to want to buy these tickets just to be able to say that they were in the building the night that this fight hasn't even happened. This fight still has the appeal of a dream fight, even though it's happening years after the fact that it should have happened. Definitely, there's people that's going to pay the money to go to Vegas to see this fight because there's only going to be a limited number of people that's able to be able to say they did it. Most of these tickets are going to be bought up by, corporate sponsorships, whether if it's HBO or, people that are involved with the Mayweather or the Pacquiao camp, just to make sure that everybody's happy and the money keeps rolling in. Very weird that I haven't really heard a whole lot of speculation about this fight. I was listening to the Wrestling Observer Live yesterday, and I do know that they mostly cover wrestling and mixed martial arts, but this is getting to the point where it is a big story. I mean, the story of the contract coming out, not being signed, the story of tickets coming out, not being sold, is a little bit weird, to the point of maybe they're going to do a Mankind versus The Rock empty arena match there at the MGM Grand. It seems a little bit funny that this is supposed to be the fight of a lifetime and no one even has a ticket in their hand. I know that when I go to WrestleMania, I know where it's going to be close to a year ahead of time. I know that I have a ticket in my hand close to 5 months ahead of time. I know that everything's going to be locked up, whether if it's my hotel, whether if it's my ticket, everything that's involved with the trip. It's a little bit funny that this is supposed to be the fight of fights for boxing, but then again, this is boxing. This is a sport that mainly people really don't care about that much anymore. I know that there's still some people out there that still hold on to Olympic boxing, but really, honestly, Olympic boxing isn't even a sport that's really covered during the Summer Olympics. You might get lucky to see the gold medal fight to go down, but you don't really get to see the fight-by-fights that leads you to the point of that getting there. Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao was supposed to be the fight of a lifetime, the fight that people always sort of thought saved boxing. And honestly, in my mind, it's getting to the point where I think it might be the fight that kills boxing. I know more about the rematch clause than I know more about the regular clauses that go along with this fight. I really am expecting this fight to happen, but at the same point, there's more rumors about this fight being pushed back to later in the year, whether if it's October or November, which makes it a little bit weird. I know that they want to grab those pay-per-view dollars. I know that there's a whole lot of things lined up, but it's just weird to me. There's no contract. There's no tickets sold. It makes me feel like this fight isn't going to happen. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you today. Finally, Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather tickets
went on sale and sold out in a hurry. When it finally came down to it, the MGM Grand in Las Vegas only released 500 tickets that were gone within a minute. These tickets were bought up by anyone and everybody looking to make a buck off of this fight. If you want to go to this fight in Las Vegas, your only way of going is heading on over to StubHub as of right now and looking at the tickets that they have on sale. You can buy a ticket in the 202 section, which is up top, but the MGM Grand, I've been there before, is not one of the biggest arenas in the world. It's going to be a damn good seat for only $5,000. You can be in there, or you can sit ringside for $129,000. You can have what is going to be a camera side ticket. I don't know what row double C is. I don't know if that means you're going to be in the third row and the double letters are in front of the regular letters, or if you're sitting behind all of the regular letters and then the letters start over again, putting you like in the 30th row or somewhere around there. I'm not sure. Let's talk real talk for a minute. $129,000 is almost as much as the house that I'm sitting in right now. I know that I won't pay off this house for 30 years, but someone is probably going to buy this ticket to sit in this seat out there, and someone is going to make a shitload of money off of this ticket. Mayweather versus Pacquiao is going to be one of the biggest fights of all time. This is, definitely doesn't seem like it's one of the best, most hyped fights of all time. I see a lot of things being posted daily by SportsCenter on Twitter. But honestly, as a fan, somebody who really wants to see this fight, I don't really feel the pressure of you have to see this fight or you're going to miss this. I don't really feel like this is a once-in-a-lifetime activity. I know that when they wrote this contract out for this deal, which finally did get signed today, they were able to work out the terms. So the fight has sold tickets. The fight has actually got a contract which is signed, which was big news coming out as of yesterday. It seems like I know more about the rematch clause inside of the contract more than what the clause is for the one contract. I think no matter who wins this fight, I think that Pacquiao and Mayweather already have it worked out that they're going to do this fight yet once again. I don't know if this is a fight that you want to pony up the $5,000 just to make sure that you're going to be in there. Definitely, I think that you're going to get your money's worth, seeing how I think this fight is going to go the distance. I don't think this is going to be a fight which is won by a knockout or a TKO. I think this is a fight that's going to be won by a judge's scorecard decision, a lot like a lot of Mayweather fights are. This fight's more than likely going to go the distance. You're going to be sitting there in the 12th round waiting for the fight to end, waiting for those judges' scorecards to get flipped over and the announcer to read off winner and new champion of the world. And in my opinion, it's going to be Floyd Mayweather. I would love for Pacquiao to beat him, but Floyd, to me, honestly, is more than likely going to have a damn good strategy going into this fight. If I'm going to run around and I'm not going to let this guy hit me, I would love it just to see Pacquiao walk out there and just not play Mayweather's game and just stand there. I'm not going to punch you. I know you're not going to punch me. If I try to punch you, you're just going to run away. So I'm just going to stand here myself, and I'm going to save my energy. And then you're going to feel the pressure of basically not, living up to the potential of this fight, knowing that I'm playing my own strategy and you're not, playing your own. That's going to make you get pretty upset. But I think that Mayweather is going to pull it out in the end. But we got a long time until next Saturday. Day by day, a little bit of news comes out. But I need something to put this over the top. I know that they're going to be doing the weigh-in, which is going to be going down in Las Vegas as well. They've changed the rules. You can buy a ticket for that for only $10, and the money's going to be going to charity. Floyd Mayweather is going to be giving his proceeds to a brain clinic in Las Vegas that researches boxers' brains and make sure that there's anything they can do in boxing to try and help boxers not lose their brains. And then also they're giving a portion to the Susie G. Komen, the Cure Foundation for breast cancer, which is an awful nice thing to do as well. But we're going to see what happens next Saturday. This fight happens. Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Finally, let's get it on. Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you tonight. We're just days away from the May 2nd Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao fight. It's hard to believe that this fight has really only been put together in 2 months. I'm sure that there was some backstage talk, and this was some sort of a
promotional stunt that they pulled with Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao having a chance encounter of running into each other, both having courtside tickets to the Miami Heat game in late January. But I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like it's as big as we thought it was going to be. When Mayweather and Pacquiao first was seen at that Heat game, and they bumped into each other. They traded each other's phones and put each other's numbers into there. And then Mayweather put the picture up on Facebook of him and Pacquiao both sitting in a room. And he said that they were working out the deals of actually having this fight. It seemed like the numbers were going to be off the chain, huge for this fight. But honestly, when it comes down to it, I don't know. I've lived through the Tyson era. I've seen other big fights, and this honestly really doesn't have the buzz to me. In the last upcoming days, I've read stories. I don't know if it's Mayweather's people trying to overhype the fight, trying to make it seem like it's one of the most-see sporting events of our time. But I've heard that they're expecting anywhere from 2 million, 3 million, 4 million pay-per-view buys. I will honestly tell you that I was laying in bed last night and I was watching Hulu, and on came the Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight promo telling me to order this fight on pay-per-view, and I've known the price for a while. $100 in HD, $90 in regular standard definition. And honestly, my wallet sent off an alarm when I saw the price actually on the screen, when I saw it on print, not heard it in a video, not heard about it talked on a talk show or a podcast that I'm listening to. I just looked at that and I said, wow, no way in the world this is gonna happen. No way I'm paying for that fight. I've even heard numbers of basically everybody's seen the ticket prices, but everybody is I read a story on Deadspin today basically saying that if you're planning on going to a local bar or a restaurant in order to watch this fight, even if they show UFC, even if they show WWE, even if they've shown past boxing events of Mayweather or Pacquiao, make sure you call and actually see that they're going to have this show, because I guess they have actually even raised the promotional price for bars and restaurants to be having this fight on, because they know how many people are going to cheap out, not wanting to pay that $100 to watch it at their house, having a work party or a friend party or just a gathering, or somebody just wanting to see the fight for themselves. They're not going to want to pony up that money, so they're going to want to find somewhere else to watch it. Honestly, to me, when I think about this fight, I'm really hoping for Manny Pacquiao to win the fight. I think if Manny Pacquiao wins this fight, guaranteedly, Floyd Mayweather is gonna want a rematch. Mayweather is coming into this fight 48-0. And I know that he has this dream of reaching 50-0. It's a magical number of getting to. It's definitely a record that is going to be hard for anybody to topple, even in boxing today, not being as strong. So many people making choices to go to MMA and make more money. The standalone sport of boxing just isn't what it once was. Definitely Floyd and Manny have made a lot of money in boxing, but I don't believe that there's anybody out there that's going to make the amount of money that they have, just because there's not the draw for it anymore. If Mayweather wins this fight and he goes to 49-0, definitely in my mind, he's going to bury Pacquiao, saying that he was a lesser competition. He's going to say the fact that he's not going to give Manny a rematch. He'll go out, he'll find a lesser opponent in order to get to that magical number. When Floyd was ducking Manny for years. You can think of the Maidana fights that happened in 2014. Floyd beats Maidana in early 2014. And, for no reason. No one was clamoring for this. No one was asking for it. There was no judge's scorecard that people thought was wrong. There was nothing. Mayweather gave Maidana another fight. And had a rematch, because it was a way for him to just straight up get cash. There's definite things to look into when you think about this fight. Manny Pacquiao is coming into this, even though he's younger than Floyd Mayweather. He's slowly becoming not the fighter that he once was. He's lost 2 of his last 5 fights. Manny has a fighting style in his last fights that seems like he's a little bit more reckless than he once was. Mayweather has definitely been able to see that Manny did fall down a few years ago, getting knocked out, and there is the thing, if you can get him, you can send him down to the ground. I think everybody remembers the memes put up of Pacquiao face down on the floor, just pretty much looked like he was dead. He fell down like a tree in the forest that got cut down. I remember seeing the meme of basically Pacquiao laying on the ground, and it was Simba looking over his body like he was the Lion King. It was very, very funny stuff. Mayweather's definitely going to be trying to knock this guy out, but Manny Pacquiao is a fighter at any time. Can get that right hand in, put Mayweather down with a shot right upside the head, hitting him right in the temple. He's definitely got that stiff left hand punch. But a lot of people, a lot like when you think about Ronda Rousey. Every time Ronda Rousey has a fight, people like to bring up the fact that she's in movies, she's in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit, edition, and she's publicizing all of that. She's got too many side issues. This is definitely going to be the fight that she's going to lose. You think about Lennox Lewis, when he was in the first movie of Ocean's 11, came out and he lost his next one. Some people say that Lennox Lewis got used to the Hollywood lifestyle. He got babied too much, and he went into his next fight and he was soft. Manny is a guy that he's a politician. He's a singer. He's a dancer. He's an actor. He does everything in his home countries except pay his taxes. Definitely, this is probably a fight that's going to help him get out of that tax trouble in the Philippines, where he doesn't think that he owes them money because he makes the money while he's in the United States, and he pays taxes on it while he's here in the United States, and he brings it home to his home country. The Philippines is trying to say, hey, you owe us this much money because, this is the money that you've been making, and you're a citizen here. So, hopefully that's something that can get done too. But at the end of the day, both of these fighters are elite fighters. Both of these guys are going into this do or die because they know the fact that basically this is the fight that their career is going to be, thought after. If there is a boxing Hall of Fame, I've never heard of it. It's not as it's not as publicly, publicized as the Baseball Hall of Fame or the Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm sure there is somewhere, but basically on their plaque, it's going to say Floyd Mayweather lost to Manny Pacquiao in 2015 when the dream fight finally happened. Or the opposite way around. This is the fight that both of these guys are going to put their reputation on, and it's what they're going to be known about, because this is probably going to be one of the last biggest boxing fights of our generation, of our time. There are no Mike Tysons, there are no Evander Holyfields. There's Floyd Mayweather, and there's Manny Pacquiao. And there's nobody else coming along. You can say what you want to about the boxing on NBC. It's on in prime time. There's a lot of money behind it, but I don't see when the money is going to start coming in. Just a lot of money going out. And, I'm sure there are always going to be Gold Gloves competitions. There are always going to be Olympic boxing. But as far as, sort of Don King promotions or, Floyd Mayweather's TMT promotions, there's just not going to be it. There is no next big star. There's nobody coming along down the pipe. Anybody who's going to be a big star in boxing fights for UFC. They fight for Bellator. They went that route because there's more money in that, and it's smarter. It's just the way the world works today. And that's going to be it. In my competition, in my friendly competition. I don't think I'm actually going to put money behind this, but I really want Pacquiao to win. I think that's where the smart money lies. Mayweather's definitely going to play his game, and he's going to run around and try and get Pacquiao tired. And I think Pacquiao knows Mayweather, even though they haven't been in the ring together. He's been studying this guy, wanting to fight him for 7 years at the least. You got to think that he's going to be coming in and he's going to be ready. And I think Floyd's going to meet his match. Pacquiao's going to get that win. And, it's really going to be, thumbs up. And then we'll go on and we'll have the rematch because Mayweather pretty much already has that worked into the contract. So we'll see what comes up, and we'll get to that a little bit later. And I'll see you guys. I'm sure we'll make some more videos on this before the fight. But that is my in-depth story on Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here, talking all about the big fight coming up tomorrow night, boxing. And this is what it's all about. This professional boxing, this is going to be the big one. This is Floyd Mayweather going up against Manny Pacquiao. The fight that we never thought was going to happen, even though that everyone in the world wanted this to happen in the big time. This fight has pretty much been booked since 2010. People have been putting this fight together, trying to find some way for these guys to fight. 5 years on the record, Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather has easily been the biggest boxing match that people have been really clamoring in order to find it. And in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand on May 2nd, we are finally going to get this fight. The fight that we never thought was going to happen. In 2012, when Manny Pacquiao was KO'd right there in the middle of the ring, I think a lot of people saw the air shooting out of the balloon. That was Pacquiao's last chance of basically being able to say that he deserved a fight against Floyd Mayweather. He wanted a chance at the money. He wanted a chance at the man. He wanted a chance at the mouth. He wanted a chance, to go after the title and be able to be saying that he is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And he owns this era of boxing. Basically, Pacquiao was able to come back and win fights. Some people say he's not the same style of boxer. At the same time, Floyd Mayweather, even though he had a setback and he made his return to boxing in 2009, when Mayweather came back, some people thought he wouldn't be the same fighter, but he's been able to maybe change his style a little bit, but still continue on and get big wins, and especially those big paydays. In 2010, it looked like this fight was being booked in order to go together, and there was all the trouble with blood and drug testing, which ended up blocking this fight. Many times we've seen Pacquiao agree to the fight and Mayweather back out because he said that the money just wasn't the money that he was looking for in order to have this dream fight. Pay-per-view revenue is going to be through the roof. This morning on PTI, the boxing expert that they had there said that worldwide this fight is thinking of making 3 million buys. That's huge. That's really, really big. WWE, which is a huge company, I think of actually wrestling being a bigger, sport, a bigger money maker than professional boxing. And, for a WWE pay-per-view, normally 1 million buys, or even, the magical number of 2 million network subscribers, is what WWE, is always looking for those big WrestleMania shows. And here is this boxing show, 3 million buys, $100 a piece. I cannot believe it. There's no way in the world I think that's going to happen. Mayweather, he has that big undefeated streak on the line. To get this fight is $113 with tax. If you go into a bar, if you're going to a restaurant, make sure that you call ahead of time and make sure that the fight is actually going to be on television. I read a story today on Deadspin about basically you have to go through a separate company. You don't just get to call your cable company and order the regular standard $100 HD feed. You have to go through a separate company who charges you based on how many people the fire marshal says you should be able to put into your bar, and it's very hard to make profits with them doing this. But bars and restaurants are basically selling tickets in order to get in there with cover charges, and then on top of that, they have a minimum order fee to make sure that you stay in the bar and you're still ordering money. Or you're still ordering food, you're still ordering drinks and bringing money into the bar, and it's a profitable win-win situation. If you talk about what's going on at the Las Vegas Sporting House, the betting places, basically Pacquiao is getting more of the bets in his favor, about 60%. This is going to be the biggest fight of all time. No doubt in my mind. Yeah, I don't think you get bigger than this. With Mayweather signing with Showtime, not being the big name that HBO is, I thought a lot of people thought that it really wasn't with them. I know that Showtime put a lot of pressure on Mayweather, saying that basically Mayweather wasn't really delivering the fights, that when they signed him wasn't going to be able to bring it, and maybe that might be the reason that Mayweather went out and made sure that this fight actually did happen. When it comes down to the decision, I have Pacquiao as the guy that I think is going to win this fight, but I would not be surprised if we didn't see this one go to the distance, and Mayweather or basically the people that are going to be on the books for the fight, the judges, the referee, find a way to put this into the decision of being a draw, forcing the rematch to come. You know, there's a lot of in the contract drawn up already talking about there being a rematch. There's already clauses in this contract that for when this fight happens again, it's going to be make it easier for it to come together. Mayweather's a guy that's already came out and called that he only has 2 fights left in his career. He doesn't feel like he's going to be able to do this, you know, his entire life, and he's made a ton of money in what he was doing. I want Pacquiao to win this fight. It's easy for me to say that Pacquiao is going to win this fight, but there's a part of me in my brain that's going off like a siren saying, "Do not say that." This is a hard, fight to do. Pacquiao has to be locked in. Pacquiao has to win those first early rounds because as the fight goes on and Mayweather makes Pacquiao dance, Pacquiao is going to start to lose, endurance, and that's when Floyd Mayweather turns it up and picks his guys apart. This is probably going to be the last biggest fight of the boxing era, so it better be worth it. $100, it better be worth it.